We're back with another edition of the CHL Top-10 show presented by Kia. My name is Scott Van Koenig, and this week I check in with the top-ranked team and the 10th-ranked team in the Kia CHL Top-10 rankings, the Gatineau Olympiques and the North Bay Battalion. Up first is Vancouver Canucks prospect Josh Bloom. We talk about why the battalion have been so successful at shutting down the opposition lately, with just 11 goals against on their current 9-game win streak, the vibe around the city of North Bay right now, and what it's like being traded twice in one season. Then, the QMJHL's leading scorer amongst defensemen, Tristan Luneau, joins me after the Olympiques' 21-game win streak was halted. He tells us why the Olympiques play the way they do, the impact of their new captain, Olivier Nadeau, the lessons learned from last year's playoff run, and why Ducks fans should be getting excited. Now in his third season in the OHL, Josh Bloom joined the North Bay Battalion after a mid-November trade from Saginaw and has fit seamlessly ever since. Drafted in the third round of the 2021 NHL draft by the Buffalo Sabres and traded to the Vancouver Canucks ahead of this year's NHL trade deadline, the Oakville, Ontario native is looking forward to his first taste of the postseason. Here's Josh Bloom. As promised, my first guest today recently set new career highs in goals and points when he completed his second hat trick of the season last Sunday, scoring the OT winner against the Wolves. His North Bay Battalion are the 10th ranked team in the Kia CHL Top 10 rankings. He's Vancouver Canucks prospect Josh Bloom. Josh, how you doing today?
Good, Scott. Thanks for having me on.
Happy to have you. I want to talk about Sunday for a second here because this was an interesting one for you guys. You were up 4-1 heading into the third period, and you guys do something that you don't do often, especially this year, which is let the other team back into it. So, a minute into the third, they score one. You score and put the team back up 5-2, but then they rattle off 3 straight goals and force OT. What was the mood on the bench at that point? Like, just because you guys haven't really done that a whole lot this year.
Yeah, I feel like there was a calm about our group. We knew we weren't in any trouble there. I think the last 10 minutes of that game kind of got away from us, but it shows what our group's about, like resetting like that, going into overtime and understanding a game still on the line and 2 points still on the line. So I think our group did a really, really good job of resetting. So we're just going to work on resetting before it's a tie game rather than force an OT.
Other than coach, did anybody on the bench step up and say anything, like to try to rally the guys and get you back into it?
Yeah, we got a great captain in Liam Arnsby, and he's always talking and always keeping the mood where he feels is right. So I think he did a great job with us there. We sat there between the flood there, between the third and overtime, and just reset as a group and understood that this game's still within grip. So yeah, he did a great job with our group. We have a great leadership group, and they keep our group in check.
Well, then in OT, 2 minutes into OT, it's you, it's Hislop, and it's Zito on the ice. The three of the acquisitions this year. Take me through your goal.
Yeah, draw came right to me. I didn't know Hissy was with me, other than the fact that the crowd went a little bananas, and I totally fumbled the puck. Thank God Hissy was behind me, picked it up, gave it to me, and just got a shot off quick, and lucky enough for one in the net.
It's called bench management. You have to have smart line changes.
Now here's Josh Bloom. Joining him is Hislop. The two former Saginaw Spirit. There's a shot, and they score! Welcome to North Bay. The former Saginaw Spirit duo have given the North Bay Battalion an overtime win on Sunday afternoon.
What positives do you guys after that game? Obviously nobody's happy about blowing a lead, but what positives do you take from a game like that?
Yeah, you look at it and say, yeah, our group's capable of sustaining wins, and I think that was a really important game for us, being Sudbury, our rival all season and potential playoff matchup. So that was huge to get those 2 points, and for us, it showed us that we do still have things to work on, which every team does, but we understand what it is, and we've gone through our week of practice here, and we're a really comfortable group right now.
Well, what are some of those things? Because you guys are on an 8-game win streak. You got 3 shutouts in there. So obviously, defensively, for the most part, you guys are pretty sound. What are those things that you still need to work on?
Yeah, just little breakdowns within our game, understanding our D zone fully and executing every single time. I think understanding our assignments on the track and understanding our assignments on the forecheck is mainly what our group's about. I feel like our neutral zone's been great. over these 8 games. I feel like our D zone's been solid and can still clean up a bit of the tracking. So we're in a really good spot right now and in a part of the season that really counts.
Yeah, obviously, heating up at the perfect time. What other than obviously the obvious of everything, but what is clicking for you guys right now?
We got the best goalie tandem in the league. I think they keep us in every single game. Dom and Charlie do an unbelievable job back there, and you feel like you have a chance to win every single night with them back there. I feel like our lines are starting to click. Everyone's starting to play in harmony. I think the harmony is the biggest part. I think we all came together, and I think that's why Denny made those moves. Sorry, Adam Dennis made those moves so early, is so that we could gel at this point of the season. While other teams might still be trying to gel, we're finding our groove, which is the perfect time to do it. So we're in a groove, and we got the best goalies back there to keep us in every single game.
Yeah, how much do those guys give you confidence there, especially maybe to give you a little more freedom to take a chance offensively?
Yeah, 100%. Dom's been, in my opinion, the best goalie in the league all season long. And then in that Sudbury game, if you watch it, minute 30 left, Chuck made an unbelievable save on Goyette, who's one of the better players in the league. Came across the middle, went backhand, and he snatched out of the air with a minute 30 to go to push OT. So,
and across. Yearwood throws it into the slot in front of the goal, and Robertson with a fantastic stop. David Goyette is denied, and Robertson might have saved a single point for his club.
I feel like we're so comfortable with them back there, and like I said, they make huge saves at huge moments in the game and keep us in every single game.
How contagious is that confidence? When you see the goalies doing so well, and does that just build out from to the blue line and to the forwards?
Yeah, it's contagious, and we talk about it all the time. Like it comes from Chuck and Dom back there, but at the same time, like when you get into later halves of the game and you see guys like Petrov and Jackson making smart plays with the puck, it's contagious throughout the room, and all of a sudden everybody starts making those smart plays with the puck when the game really counts. So I feel like we feed off of each other really well. We have a leadership group that takes us in the right direction, and yeah, like I said, we're in an unbelievable spot going into a big part of the season.
You mentioned the trade, Denny bringing you in earlier in the season, getting those trades done before Christmas. I talked a bit about that with Ty earlier maybe about a month ago now, and how important it was from his perspective as the outsider coming in. Well, you said it, you feel like a part of the team, but how nice was it to come in early? What were those first couple conversations like with coach and GM?
Yeah, me and Hissy talked about it when we first got traded. We're like, wow, like we feel comfortable really, really quickly within this group. And almost the first morning skate, we got in on Wednesday night. We played Thursday against Kingston. We had a morning skate that morning, and we're already gelling with the guys. We're already having conversations. Like it was a seamless transition for us. And we've had a couple injuries throughout the year, so things have kind of stopped and started. But everyone's getting healthy, knock on wood, and we're starting to gel, like I said.
How much easier is it to come to a new organization when you've got a teammate coming with you in Braden?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Like we were best buddies in Saginaw, and we live together now. He's actually in the other room, but it made that transition a lot easier. And like I said, our group made it so easy on us too. Like it's not easy getting traded and coming into an environment where you don't know a lot of people, and they made that transition so easy. And especially Arnsby, I played against him since I was a kid, and he brought us in and treated us like one of the boys right off the bat. So it was fantastic.
What types of things did they do to help bring you guys into the fold and make you feel like members of the team?
It's little things like, hey, we're going out for breakfast. Why don't you come? And all of a sudden, we'd be consistently going for breakfast, and always trying to find something to do after practice as a group. And we have an unbelievably tight group, and I think that all stems from our leadership group.
How important is it to be so tight like that, especially when you guys have aspirations on a long playoff run, OHL championship and hopefully a Memorial Cup?
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, like every team that wins a Memorial Cup, every team that wins a championship is usually the tightest group. So I think we've done a great job with that, and you can see it in our play. We've won 8 straight, like you said. So yeah, it's made a huge difference within our group. Everybody wants to fight for one another, and we're in a good spot.
Why have you been able to fit so well like with the team? Is it the style of play? Is it just the guys around you? What made you fit so well?
Yeah, a mixture of both. I think the style of play that we play, it's a very fast, heavy game, and that's the type of game that I like to play. I like to move my feet, I like to get on the forward track, and I like to create plays. So, I think there's like non-negotiables like coach talks about. But within that system, you can be very creative as well, and I think it gives us a lot of leeway to really use our skill, but at the same time, like stick to a system.
How has your role changed from with Saginaw to with North Bay?
I don't think my roles changed much. I play PK, I play power play, I play a lot of minutes. So like I feel very comfortable with everything that I'm relied to do here in North Bay, and I think everybody on the group feels the exact same way about the situations that they're in. If you get kicked off the power play, this isn't the type of group where you're gonna be pouting around the room. Like you understand that, hey, like it's gonna happen. Why don't I fight my way to get back on that power play or fight to get back on the kill or stuff like that. So I think we've done a great job in creating that culture here, and guys understand that this is a championship caliber team, and we're going to be playing to win hockey games, not to get you your ice time. So it's good.
Well, you got four guys that are 30 plus goal scorers, another three or four that are 20 plus. So obviously it's next man up. If somebody's not clicking, you guys feel comfortable with throwing the next guy out there.
Yeah, 100%. And you look at it, you got a guy in Dallin Wakely who I think is one of the most underrated hockey players in the league, who's playing third line minutes but doesn't complain, and he's got 30 goals. So he's doing something right, and people are going to notice that.
What's been the vibe around the city lately? I know North Bay is a big hockey town, and I know that they like their playoffs. So, and when you guys are doing well, there it's a fun place to play.
Yeah, it's really different after playing in the States for 3.5, 4 years, and coming here to a Canadian environment and a smaller town that just loves their hockey. Like you feel it, you feel the buzz around the city, and whenever we go out for dinner, it's always like, hey, like great game tonight, boys. Like you're always getting fans coming up to you and giving you props, and so yeah, it's a passionate fan base. It's a passionate hockey city, and we're so excited to be part of this long playoff run.
How much fun is that for you guys? Going out and having obviously there's the good with the bad. If you guys are playing well, you're going to hear about it, or aren't playing well, you're going to hear about it too. But how much fun is that environment?
Yeah, it's very cool. We were actually out for dinner the other night, and there was a couple guys having their own dinner across the restaurant, and we asked for our checks, and the lady said, "Oh, it's covered. Don't worry about it." And we look over, and there's these three guys with big smiles on their face, and so we went over, we said hi to them, and they were telling us how great we were doing and how excited they are for what we can potentially do, and it makes you feel confident. It makes you know that the whole city's behind you, and it gets you really excited for things to come.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want to talk about Ty Nelson a little bit. You know, he's having an incredible season. Top three in goals for defensemen, top three in points for defensemen in the OHL. Like, he's got almost 100 more shots than the next closest guy on your team. What does Ty mean to you guys out on the ice?
Yeah, if you watch Ty play, it's not necessarily his offensive stuff that catches your eye. Like he plays a heavy, heavy defensive hockey game, and he's hard to play against. And I think that's one of the best things about our group. We have a ton of guys that are super hard to play against, and Ty's the exact example of that. Then you watch him on the power play with that shot he has. It's hard not to take shots when you can shoot the puck like that. So we try and get the puck to him and let it fly, and hopefully something creates from that. So yeah, Ty's the backbone of our defense core, and we're ecstatic to have him. We're ecstatic to see what he can do here in the coming weeks.
He's like a little fire hydrant out there.
Yeah, he's tough to move.
What's he like in the room? Because in front of the camera, when we see him, he's always got a smile on his face. Does he ever get mad?
I wouldn't say he gets mad. I don't think he has a problem with calling somebody out if they're not doing their job, or he does it like he's an assistant captain for a reason. And you need accountability in a championship environment, and he holds guys accountable. But that being said, he always keeps the mood light, and I think that's the great thing about our group. Like I said, there's an accountability about us, but at the same time, like everyone loves what they're doing.
Well, when I talked to him, like I said, it was about a month ago, and at that point, your penalty kill is what it is now, which is the best in the CHL and by quite a bit. But your power play was in the bottom half of the CHL at that point. And he said, there'd been some injuries and you guys were going to make some tweaks. And since then, you guys are now you've improved dramatically. I think you're in the top 25 in the CHL now. So what kind of adjustments did you guys make to be better on the power play?
Yeah, I think it's a credit to our assistant coach, Razor, we call him, but he's done a great job in letting us be ourselves, but at the same time, like finding tweaks and little stuff we can fix here and there. He's worked his butt off to get our power play to where it's at. It's just continue to work on it. I think every day in practice we work on it, and we've made it a priority for us to get it back to where it needs to be. And that being said, Billy, our other assistant coach, does a great job with the penalty kill, and you've seen that all season long. So just a credit to our coaching staff and how hard they work for us. And yeah, it's what you need.
Well, we've got 3 games. By the time this airs, you guys will have 2 games left until or in the regular season. It's going to be your first taste of the playoffs. Just what are you most looking forward to about a playoff run?
Yeah, it's crazy to think after 4 years is my first go at it, but yeah, I'm so excited for things to come. There's always talk around our group about the building during O Canada, and just like your hairs stand up on your arms and the environment that's created here. I can't wait to be a part of it. I know everyone in our group's chomping at the bit to get there, and yeah, just a really big excitement about our group and about the city for this hopeful long playoff run.
Have you said anything to the guys or plan on saying anything to the guys about, not taking stuff for granted, just because, like you said, you've been in the league for a while now and this is your first taste of the playoffs. So I know they had a pretty good run last year, the majority of the guys anyway. So just to not take that for granted.
Yeah. I always used to hear that from my OAs when I was a rookie, the Cole Koskis and Riley Webbs of the world. They were always like, "Bloomer, it flies by." And I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, like it really does. It felt like I was 16 yesterday. So just like I say to them, take advantage of every moment. Don't take a single thing for granted. You're not playing a ton of minutes. Okay, fine. It's your first year. It's your second year. Like it's a long road of junior hockey, and just cherish every moment of it because it does really fly by.
Well, like I said, 3 games left. It'll be 2 after Thursday night's game. What do you guys have to do to make sure that you come away with 3 wins and just to secure that second place and home ice throughout playoffs?
I think not looking ahead. I don't think we can look at the next week being playoffs. I think we need to look at this as another weekend to get better and prepare ourselves for the upcoming series. I think 3 wins would be unbelievable going into a playoff series to give us that confidence, and that's what we're going to go look to do.
Well, I know you say you don't want to look ahead, but if we're looking ahead, you're going to face either Mississauga, which you guys are 3-2 against this year, or the Sudbury Wolves, and you're 7-1 against them. So, let's start with Mississauga. What type of team are they? What kind of challenges will they provide you guys?
They're a younger group, but they play with a ton of pace. They're a really, really fast team. So defensively, like I was saying, our track needs to be really on if Mississauga's the team, because they are a fast break team. Sudbury, on the other hand, plays really, really heavy hockey, and it's not fun hockey to play. So that'll be a tough series if they're the call for us. But regardless, I think we need to look at ourselves, and I think when we're at our best, it doesn't really matter who we're up against. I look at some of our best games this year. One that comes to mind is 5-0 against Ottawa, who's supposed to be the best team in this league, and we were at our best that night, and it shows what our group's truly capable of. So I think we need to worry about ourselves, not so much who we're playing, and as long as we're confident and happy with where we're at, I think the results will come.
If you guys end up facing Sudbury, is there a worry that some guys will look and say, well, hey, we handled them this year, we were 7-1 against them? Is there any fear that maybe not the veteran guys, but some of the younger guys look at that and just take their foot off the gas a little bit? Or are you guys going to make sure to remind them, and obviously coaching staff will as well?
Yeah, I don't think that's what our group's all about. I think we understand the goal at the end of all this. I don't think we're going to take a single game for granted. You look at series like last year, a 2 seed in London losing to a 7 seed in Kitchener, anything can happen. So I think we need to really bear down no matter who we're playing against and play our game.
NHL trade deadline. What you get moved from Buffalo to Vancouver for Riley Stillman. How did you hear about the trade? And well, let's start with that. How did you hear about the trade?
Yeah, so we're just at one of the build houses, just all hanging out because it's our off day. It was a Monday, and we're all hanging out. And I pick up my phone. I got a little iPhone 8, barely works, but I pick it up and I see 4 missed calls from Kevin Adams, and I'm like, oh, boys, I think I might have just got traded. Like he doesn't call me very often, so I call him back and he says, hey Josh, like you've been traded to the Vancouver Canucks, and I thanked him for everything that Buffalo's given me and the opportunities that they've given me. And then got on the phone, with Patch Gavin, the GM in Vancouver, and he just said they're excited to have me and can't wait to get started and just to worry about my season now. So lots of emotions. I think I got called from every single person I know in the hockey world. It was a long day of phone calls, but yeah, I'm really, really excited about it, but that's something I'll worry about after the season's done.
Have the Canucks, since that initial call, have they talked to you at all? Have you have they been sending you, tapes or anything to look at since?
Yeah, I've been in touch with all the staff, all the player dev staff and stuff like that. So seems like a great group. I got to get to know them a little bit more, but yeah, I'm excited to be a part of it.
Is it exciting to go to a Canadian market and a team that's sort of in a bit of a retooling, rebuilding stage, and know that there could be, possibilities in the near future?
Yeah, it's exciting to think about, but like I said, that's something I'll worry about after the season. I'll do all my homework on all the prospects and stuff like that after we're done with this year. But yeah, it's definitely exciting. But I got one goal in mind, and that's an OHL championship and a Memorial Cup. So worry about that right now.
Well, somebody that could help you guys with a long playoff run would be Mathern. Is what's his status? Is he going to be back or?
That's the plan, hopefully. Yeah. I've never got to see T play live. I've heard he's a absolute shutdown, which is fantastic, and we'd be very, very lucky to have him for playoffs. So that's exciting to think about. Fingers crossed, and we'll see what happens.
How about a couple of your former teammates? Let's start with Michael Misa. What were your initial thoughts about him? From the start of the season till even now.
Yeah, I remember seeing him at camp, and I'm like, wow, this kid can play. Like, holy. And then season started. He got off to a really good start, and then obviously I was traded, and he just kept scoring goals. Every night I checked my phone, Michael Misa, Michael Misa, Michael Misa. He just kept scoring, and unfortunately he got hurt there, but he's back in the lineup now, and he's playing some really, really good hockey. So he's fantastic talent. He's an unbelievable person, and it's exciting to see what he can do in the future.
And then another young rookie on the Spirit, Zane Perek.
Yeah, Zaner didn't have a goal in the OHL until after I left, and so I was texting him. I was like, "Hey, like, congrats on your first. That's unbelievable." And then all of a sudden, the second came, and then the third, and then all of a sudden, he's at 20 goals. And I was lucky enough to be at the ceremony where Dave Branch gave him a plaque for most rookie gold by a defenseman, and it was a pretty cool little ceremony there. And he kind of just winked at each other, smiled, and yeah, like unbelievable player, even better person. Zane's somebody who you want on your team. He's a perfect person for a locker room, and will be a hell of a defenseman in this league for a long time.
Now, I know your aspirations are obviously to not be back next year, and you're signed, so you most likely won't be back. So I can ask you this: what do you think, or how would Saginaw be as a host city for the Memorial Cup? We're going to find out in the next week or so who's going to earn that right, but how do you think they would do?
Yeah, I'm biased. I think Saginaw was home for 4 years, so I think it'd be the perfect city for it. If it does end up going to Saginaw, I'll be pumped. I'll be at the event. It'll be unbelievable, and I really hope it does because all those guys in that locker room deserve it. I know the organization wants to make a big push for next year, so I think it'd be a fantastic city for it. I know the fans would love it, and the guys would have an unbelievable experience. So fingers crossed it goes to them, but we'll see what happens.
And then obviously the roster, you know it better than most. So how do you think those guys would do next year? Even if they didn't earn the right to host, they should be a pretty solid team, like to make a run at an OHL championship.
Big time. I don't think that whether they get the Memorial Cup or not, I don't think it changes their plans. I think they're going to be a very, very competitive team next year and be going for a championship. And I was a part of a championship run that got cut short because of COVID there. But Dave Drinkle and Chris Lazary know what they're doing at that organization. And I wish them all the best. And I really hope that they can do it next year.
What when I say the 2019 OHL Cup, kind of what comes to mind for you?
We didn't do so well in that OHL Cup. So that one still hurts a little bit. I remember we lost our opening game. It was the most packed building I'd been a part of not to date, but back then. And we lost to the Halton Hurricanes, and that one's still bittersweet because there was an unbelievable experience, but at the same time it got cut short. So to all those kids going to play in that, enjoy every moment of it because you never know. We were supposed to make a deep run in that and we didn't because everyone brings their A game. So make sure you're on your A game and enjoy every second of it.
Well, on that team, you're right. Obviously, you didn't get the goal that you guys wanted. But on that team, you know, you've had a few teammates that are playing in the OHL that you play against now. But there's also Zach Dean, who's having a pretty solid run right now with Gatineau. Do you guys still keep in touch at all?
We haven't texted each other in a while, but it was hilarious. We got traded kind of a couple days apart from each other in the NHL, so that was funny to see. I'll probably shoot him a text after this now that you say that. But yeah, Diener's a hell of a player. It's no surprise that he's having a great season, and that Gatineau team should make a really deep run in the Q. So we'll see how they do. But yeah, hopefully we see them in the Memorial Cup. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, their 21 game win streak is pretty incredible run to close out the season here. All right, last one. What does the North Bay Battalion have to do to go on a deep and long playoff run here?
I think our depth is what makes us such a dangerous team and the style of play that we play. We're a very fast and heavy team, like I said, and I feel like we'd be the hardest out in the playoffs in a 7-game series, the style of play that we play. So I think we need to play fast and we need to play heavy. And if we do that, I think teams will shy away from us.
Awesome. Josh, thank you very much. This was really good. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Scott.
The former first overall pick in the QMJHL draft, Tristan Luneau, is enjoying a record-breaking breakout season for the Gatineau Olympiques. Luneau joined his teammate Noah Warren when the Anaheim Ducks used their second-round pick of the 2022 NHL draft on the Victoriaville, Quebec native. He joins a pair of familiar names at the top of the scoring race for CHL defensemen. Let's get to him now. Joining me now is the Q's leading scorer amongst defenders with 80 points. His Gatineau Olympiques are the top-ranked team in the Kia CHL Top-10 rankings. It's Anaheim Ducks prospect Tristan Luneau. Tristan, how are you doing today?
Hey, pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you. You know what? Let's talk about the streak. The streak's over now, unfortunately. But what a run you guys were on! 21 consecutive wins that ended in overtime on Wednesday night. You guys were on the road in that game, and halfway through the game, you find yourselves down 3-0. What was the kind of the mood on the bench at that point?
Well, we didn't panic right away. You know, we knew we gave a lot of PKs and some 5-on-3s, and they cashed in on those opportunities. So we knew we would have some power plays and maybe some 5-on-3s later on, which we did. And you know, we fought back, and we always felt like we were in the game. So yeah, we fought back, came back 3-3, and then made it to overtime. Fortunately, we lost, but I'm glad we fought back and we didn't give up at 3-0.
Yeah, this close to playoffs, like playoffs are going to start next weekend. So is it a nice test to see how resilient your group can be to have a game like that?
Yeah, it's always a good test to face the one of the best teams in the league this year. You know, they're really, they got a deep lineup, good defense, really good offense, and it was a great test for us. It was a physical game, fast paced, and it's always good to have those games close to the playoffs.
How good was Lapina in that game? You know, stopping 15 shots in the third period alone to keep you guys in it.
Yeah, keeps getting better. You know, every time we get a big game, he shows up, and he's a real competitor. And you know, he wants to make every save, and he battles for it. So he's been huge for us so far, and it just seems like it keeps getting better. So it's good for us.
How much confidence does that give you guys as a group?
Yeah, it gives a lot of confidence. You know, when you know that your goalie's going to allow 1, maybe 2 goals a game, if you don't go crazy on the chances you give him. But like I said, like he's been giving us like 1 or 2 goals each night. So and especially with the offense we have this year, it's makes us comfortable and confident that, you know, we can win those games.
Well, like I said, 21 consecutive wins. You know, 22 games with a point now, and you beat the top teams in there. Obviously, you beat Sherbrooke earlier. You beat Halifax. You beat the OHL's top team, the Ottawa 67s, twice in that run. So, what have you guys been doing so well to have so much success lately?
Well, there are many things. I think the most important one is, and what makes us a little different, I think, is our physicality is something that we bring, I think, a little bit more than other teams. That's a huge part of our game, just physicality and just hard pressure all over the ice. So that's kind of the culture we have in Gatineau, and it's kind of a playoff game that we're trying to play during the regular season, just trying to, you know, create habits, and we'll be able to bring that culture and habits that we build to the playoffs. And other than that, we have a really good offense. We traded for some really good forwards and a great goalie in Lapena. So I think all those things come together and makes us special this year.
Well, you talked about the physicality, and I was going to touch on this later, but we might as well touch on it now. Earlier this week, it was announced that Noel Warren is going to miss the rest of the season after having to have surgery. How does that change the dynamic on the back end for you guys? Because obviously he's a big part of it and a big physical presence for you guys.
Oh yeah, no, he's a huge part. He was a huge part of our lineup, and you know, great defenseman, brings a lot of offense, like you said, but kind of found a little offensive touch at the end, like close to his injury. So it's really unfortunate that it happened during that time of the year. But you know, there's never a good time for an injury, and we're definitely with him, and we hope he gets well soon.
How do you guys replace a guy like him? Does it make it a little bit easier for you guys as a group, knowing that you started off the year without him and played almost a month without him then?
Yeah, we've had players injured all year. We didn't have just Noah. We had 3 or 4 players injured, and guys going to the World Juniors, and you know, guys suspended and all that. So we've never really been full lineup since the beginning of the year, and we managed to find a way to win. So it doesn't really matter who's in the lineup. I think we feel pretty confident that where he's going to be there, and he's going to show up and be a big part for us.
Well, congratulations to you, because also last weekend you broke the franchise record for most points in a single season by defensemen, edging out Yuri Fisher, or passing Yuri Fisher from, I think it was 98-99. So that's a pretty long-standing record. To do it at home at the Slush Puppy Center in front of that full house, what was that like for you?
Côté de Cole Cormier, je crois, sur le dernier jeu. C'est Cormier avec rondelle, elle met dans la clave à Luneau. Luneau tire et Tristan Luneau, le défenseur gatinois.
Maintenant, seul au sommet des pointeurs pour un défenseur en une saison avec les Olympiques vient de dépasser officiellement Eric Fisher.
Oh, it was great. It was electric in the building. Like it's been for the last, I'd say, 5 games. Packed crowd and everyone screaming, and just it was fun to be at home and having our fans cheer for us. And the new rink is pretty electric when everyone's there.
Well, last year you had 43 points in 63 games. This year you're up to 80 points in 63 games. Obviously you're older and you're stronger and more experienced, but what specific areas have you been working on to improve either in the summer or throughout the season to take this offensive explosion?
Yeah, well, before I touch on that, I just want to say that we have a better team and more often we have more offense, better forwards, and everything. So a part is from that. But other than that, I worked on my skating. I think my skating improved from last year. Worked on my shot during the summer. Other things like just physicality, getting stronger, and I think that helped my all-around game. My D zone also, which leads to offense and creates more points. So I think those are the main areas.
Well, you touched on it a bit with the fans and everything, but how fired up is the Outaouais region right now?
It's pretty cool. Like I said, we have last, I'd say, 5 games, we have almost full capacity. And everyone's there and they're cheering us, and it's really helped us in the last couple of games. They give us a reason to show up each night at home and trying to give our best. So they've been huge for us.
Like you said, you guys added some pretty offensive guys, and one of those guys is Riley Kidney, who I talked to about a month ago now. And at that point, he had a point in every game that he had played with you guys, save for the first one. And now that streak is at 26 games and 60 points over those games. How has he been able to fit so seamlessly with you guys?
Well, he's just a great guy on and off the ice, and I think he's just friends with everyone, and that's why he fit in so quick with us. And his style of play is just he's really good offensively. Doesn't seem to lose stick battles, and he just it seems like the puck sticks to him, and he's got a pretty good scoring touch. So not surprised he has that many points with us.
Is it fun being out on the ice with a guy like him?
Oh yeah, makes it a lot easier. Just give it to him, and something will happen for sure.
And about a month ago now, you guys also named Olivier Nadeau the captain of the team. What has his addition been like this season, and his, obviously he's a big dude, but what has his presence been like in the room as well?
Well, he's just I think he embodies the culture that we want to carry on the ice. He's hard working. He's got a really good work ethic, and that's even in practice and in the gym. So he's just a good culture guy, great guy off the ice too. He's a team gatherer, and he's just a great leader. And what he brings on the ice, he goes in those dirty areas, finishes his checks, and scores big goals around the net. So that's just what our culture is like in Gatineau, and he just embodies it.
What did he say to you guys before that game back, his first game back in Shawinigan there?
He didn't say much. Well, he was kind of joking about it, that there was a big ovation for him, and maybe a couple of songs for him and things like that. But he was joking about it, but he didn't say that much. Yeah, he likes to joke, so he only did that.
No money on the board from him?
I can't. I don't think I can say that.
Okay. Okay. Well, last year you guys got a taste of the playoffs, beating Val-d'Or in the first round, and then getting swept by Olivier Nadeau's Shawinigan Cataracts. So what do you guys who are returning from that roster? What do you take from that playoff experience last year to help you this year?
Just being consistent. I think we did pretty good in the first game against Shawinigan, and fortunately we lost this one in overtime, and then we're a bit up and down in the last two games of the series. It was a best of 5. So I think just bringing that consistency in every game and also playing the right way, which I think we do a lot better this year. And also Nadeau brings that experience to the team where he won the cup, and he went to the Mem Cup, and he has all that experience that he can share with us and help us with.
Well, this past summer, you got to be drafted by the Anaheim Ducks, which you're rocking their hoodie right now, which is awesome. You're sitting there on day 2, you see your teammate and friend and Noah Warren get drafted, and then first, what was that like when you saw him get drafted?
I was really happy for him. I saw a couple friends of mine getting drafted in first round, and then I see Noah getting drafted to Anaheim, which is a really good spot. And I was just so glad he went in such a great organization. So yeah, I was really glad for him, and I was just sitting close to him, so I got a chance to tell him congrats before he went down the stairs. But I was just really happy for him.
When obviously you didn't have to wait much longer, 11 more picks, and then they called your name as well. But before that happened, when they were saying, from the Gatineau Olympiques, were you thinking it might have been you at that point, or were you just you didn't want to think about it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I actually did. Like I think we both did. The first time they said Gatineau Olympiques, we both stood up and then said his name. So I kind of sat down, and I was like, oh wait, it's him. So I said congrats, but no, yeah. And then the second time around, I didn't stand up at all. I waited for my name that time, and it was me. So I went down the stairs and joined him, and met all the organization, went through the process, interviews, signatures, and great experience to get drafted. The same team as my best friend, really. So no, it was great experience.
How cool is it for you and Noah? You guys are growing up together, pick 7 spots apart in the Q draft. Obviously, you went first in that one, then he quickly followed, and then to go to the same organization in the NHL, that's got to be pretty fun for you guys.
Yeah, no, it's all special moments, and it's always fun to get drafted with a friend. You don't go to camp alone. You know someone, and you get to share all the same experience together. And it's even crazier that we got drafted to the same place in the NHL, and a couple Quebec guys too got traded there over the last few years. So there's quite a bit of French that got spoken there. But no, it's always fun to have a couple friends or people to go to camp with.
Well, the decor in Anaheim is, or the future decor in Anaheim is shaping up pretty nicely. Obviously, Jamie Drysdale's already there, and he's a pretty young guy, but some fellow CHL prospects with you in Olin Zellweger and Pavel Minchikov. What do the three of you guys have in common other than being all Anaheim Ducks prospects right now? Do you know where I'm heading with this?
Yeah, I think, we're all leading our respective leagues and points for defensemen.
It's pretty
cool. It's pretty cool to see, and it's kind of a little fun race between each other. We all know each other, and I'm sure that's what I'm doing. I'm sure that that's what they're doing too. Or I'm always checking they got any points that game or how many points I got to do to catch up and things like that. And Pablo got traded to Ottawa lately, well, at Christmas. So he's closer now. I went to lunch the other day with him, and makes it easier to spend time together. And it's fun to have a little competition between the three of us.
Obviously, you said that you follow the stats, but do you text each other at all or message each other at all?
More so Pablo because he's closer. I didn't text Olin, but I got a chance to meet him at camp, and it was a short time. Like we had 2 weeks at camp together, so but definitely looking forward to seeing him again next year at camp and maybe bond a little bit more.
Well, I'm sure Ducks fans across the United States and Canada are hoping to see the three of you all at Memorial Cup this year as well.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be great.
Just a couple more. How's the family? I know. Are you still taking some skating with your mom?
Yeah. Well, not during the season because she's in Victoria and I'm in Gatineau. But yeah, during the summer, if I go on the ice close to home, she'll definitely come and try to teach me some things. But it was a lot more grown up, before school, going on the ice with my mom and skating with her. But now Anaheim's got some skating coaches, and I think they'd rather me having lessons with them. But it was fun times growing up.
And where are your brothers at these days?
2 of my brothers are working right now. One's a police officer, and the other one's working in the pharmaceutical industry, and the third one is pretty much all around North America right now. He works for the Cirque du Soleil. He's an artist. Does some crazy flips and things in the air. So he's on tour. Does like shows like I'd say like 2 weeks at a time at one place, and he's constantly moving. Sometimes he's closer, like Montreal, and sometimes he's all the way across North America and in Arizona or San Diego or things like that.
Have you been to any of his shows?
Montreal, I've been to a couple of shows in Montreal, but I didn't go to crazy spots. He had a contract in China. It would have been fun to go there and see that, but hockey and everything and camps and Team Canada camps, it's kind of a tight schedule to fit a trip to China.
Yeah. What's the off season like at your house when everybody's home? Like, you guys are a pretty athletic family. I know your one brother played football in youth sports as well. So, like, are you guys always just trying to one up each other in your respective sports, or trying to get other guys to do things that you guys can do?
Yeah. Well, I train in Quebec City, which is like an hour away from home. So I only spend the weekends. But I would say back in the day, we would definitely challenge ourselves, and I'll play roller hockey just right outside our house. But nowadays, more fishing and hunting is more our thing now. Just relax on the weekends, and got a pretty busy training and ice time schedule during the week. So just getting the woods on the lake and fish or hunt is our jam now.
Yeah, but you're still competing when you're doing that too, aren't you?
Oh yeah. No, that doesn't change. It's who catches the most and who has the bigger deer. But yeah, no, it's still a lot to compete in that family.
Awesome. Well, Tristan, what do the Gatineau Olympiques have to do to make sure that they're going on a deep and long playoff run this year?
Stick to our plan, stick to our identity and culture and what we talked about, and just making sure we're healthy as well. I think that's the plan.
So just one more then. What types of things can you guys do to make sure you stay healthy? Obviously, hits and stuff are going to happen, but to prevent, other injuries that are preventable.
I think we do a good job on that. Just everything about preparation, and one guy that does it a lot is our captain, and that's kind of our culture now, where everyone's going in the gym and getting treatment and being really careful with their bodies. And like we touched on, like we're a physical team, and we have to make sure that off the ice we do the things that will allow us to be a physical team and not injure ourselves.
Yeah, because it's going to be hopefully a long run for you guys, and a couple months of playoffs and a Memorial Cup. You got to make sure that you're maintaining that high level and not getting worn down, right?
Yeah, no, stretching and rest is a weapon. So sometimes taking the day off and working on mobility or stretching, like I said, but yeah, just making sure we're on top of that.
Great. Well, Tristan, I'll let you go with that. Thank you very much. Good luck in the final 2 games this weekend. Obviously, first place in the conference still on the line, so looking for 2 big wins there. And good luck in the first round of the playoffs.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.